All right. Let's see. Hey, everybody. What's up, Dossie? Glad you could be here. We're here to go live with NXT. We just started the show. We're getting a recap of Vengeance Day. Don't go back and watch my predictions for Vengeance Day because my predictions were trash. A lot of surprises at Vengeance Day, a lot of interference. See Fraxium retaining their tag titles until they were jumped here by a new faction that had been getting teased. Um, in the weeks leading up to NXT. They're a little bit Shield, a little bit Retribution. Hopefully, we'll learn more about that tonight. And also, of course, we got a new women's North American champion in the house, Stephanie Vaquer. Um, well, well deserved. That was another prediction I got wrong, but she's welcome as the North American champion. She's fantastic. And then, Ethan Page takes one out over Javon Evans as well. So Ethan Page still going strong as a heel, doing great work in NXT. I hope you guys are doing well tonight, and come on in and watch along as we watch NXT tonight and see what's on the menu. Um, they're also recapping the strap match between Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe. Didn't quite understand them going with Eddie in this match. I mean, seemed like it was custom made for Trick to get his revenge, but what do I know? And of course, Obafemi is Obafemi. He just wrecked shop and managed to retain his NXT Heavyweight Championship before he also ran afoul of this new faction, which we still don't know much about. So maybe we'll learn some more things tonight on tap for NXT, along with the artist currently or formerly. We still don't know if Ricky Starks is still going to be called Ricky Starks. Imagine the kind of buzz you can create for yourself when people have just been talking about your name all week long. It's subtle, it's simple, but effective. Teflon Don in the house. Good to see you, Mod Father. Thank you for being here. And let's have some fun tonight and enjoy NXT together. Let's have some fun. Anybody have any um, predictions? Do you think Ricky will? Do you think Starks will keep his name? You think that he'll be somebody else? I mean, he's already kind of built some equity, as a performer. So I'm curious if under his name. So I'm curious if they'll have him change it or not. I feel like they'd want him to keep it, but who knows? And of course, how could I forget? Julia retains, of course, and Jordan Grace has made her NXT permanent residence known and standing in the ring, facing off both Stephanie Vaquera and Julia. If that is ever a triple threat match, just inject that into my veins. That would be amazing. Okay, Obafemi's here. He's in the building. I don't think that's a Death Riders t-shirt, but he's coming in. He looks Jabari angry. He said, hit my music. He's already coming out. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Our champion. That's such a great entrance. It's so well lit, even when he's not even in ring gear. So you're welcome, Teflon. Thanks for being here, dude. Our mod. I mean, can't be a mod father if you're not a mod. Am I right? Um, I, Dossie, that's a good question. Do you think the new faction wearing the mask is too similar to the Shield? I think it's a nod. I mean, I've seen comparisons in the past few days to the Shield, to Retribution, and even to Nexus. So, I think I'm sure that's intentional to a degree. Although those masks were pretty straight up Shield, early to mid Shield. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just hoping they address it more tonight, and we'll see what happens. But okay. Let's get straight to business. They didn't get the job done. Yeah. Obafemi's ready to hurt somebody. Also, just respect to the NXT crowd for not wanting him and instead customizing that to his character with their sort of grunting in the spaces between his words. Lights are out already. We've got music playing. Who is here? Who's in the house? Whoa. Oh. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Oh my goodness. We got Moose. Moose is in the house. Moose from TNA, who is the closest thing TNA has to an Obafemi at this time, is in the house. He was the last person I was expecting to see. He's the current X Division champion. Here to square up with Obafemi. Here, I thought we were going to get some faction information, but here comes Moose and Oba. Well, he doesn't look supremely confident. Samantha Poole, hey, welcome to the chat. What's up, JR? Good to see you. Man, Moose was the last thing I was expecting here. Although, in my John Cena 2025 video, I did predict he would jump over and make an appearance. But, man, I did not imagine I'd see these two behemoths staring each other down in the same ring in this year. Dude, Moose, I mean, they're about the same size, give or take Oba's hair. Oh, we're getting the holy you know what chance from the NXT faithful, which is why the TV has been muted pretty significantly. Okay. Moose says you can't rule over me. Okay. Dude. Somebody call Big E. Somebody call Big E right now because he's got to be very, very excited about the potential of this much beef in the ring. Dude. You think they'll go for stand and deliver? Could we have like I wouldn't call it an invasion, but a forbidden door for stand and deliver? Okay, Jordan's here. Jordan Grace is in the house. Speaking of muscles, such an impressive lifter. And we've got a SUV pulling up to the ever dangerous NXT parking lot. And here he is. The would-be named Ricky Starks is on the property. Didn't bother to button up his shirt as soon as he got out of the car, but he's a man of his own desires. Miss Parker is in the house. You think by now the cameraman would know to get out of her way. Number 1 contenders match. Why are they bleeping? What are they bleeping out now? They were just chanting for Miss Parker. I don't know. NXT's FCC guy or whatever is CW's got some work to do there. Well, Miss Parker is in the ring. Thank you guys for being here tonight. How's everybody doing? Everybody have a good weekend. Did anybody do anything fun? Did you guys have a holiday where you were yesterday? I know President's Day is one of those days where we're kind of some of us have it off, some of us don't. My son had his birthday yesterday. We saw the new Captain America movie. I'm curious if any of you guys have seen it, what you thought of it. Speaking of big, hulking, strong, massive characters, thought it was pretty good. The Marvel films since Endgame, have been a little different. But you know what? They reintroduced a few characters that people have forgotten about for a while, which was a lot of fun. And there's some there's some entertaining possibilities down the road as a result of the ongoings of that film. So it's pretty good. Um, yeah. So, what did you guys think of Raw last night too? I mean, I know we've got the elimination chambers are now settled. So both of those matches, honestly, look more difficult to predict than I would have imagined going this close to WrestleMania. So we'll be interested to see how all that shakes out. Of course, Elimination Chambers on March 1st. And a great exchange last night, too, between AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. I'd be very excited to see a one-on-one match there as well. While we're still on commercial break, waiting for NXT to return and find Jada Parker's opponent for her number one contender match. If anybody wants to support the channel tonight, just look in the description. While we're still growing to the point of getting our super chats enabled and all that good stuff, for now, I do have ways to contribute in the description that you can donate there if you want to support the channel as we keep trying to grow to that point where we can expand things and get more interactive together. As for now, though, really excited you guys are here. Please smash that like button while you're here, and we'll continue to have a good time enjoying NXT as we are on the road to Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend. So, yeah. Anybody, did you guys watch Vengeance Day over the weekend? If so, what was your favorite match? That's what I'm curious about. Um, I got to admit, Fraxium is just a fan. I'm not saying anything groundbreaking here, but they're just a fantastic tag team. They've really grown on me. They've gone for me. They've gone from there's a good couple of performers who team well together to the point where hey, they're a legit great, maybe the best tag team in wrestling right now. I mean, just the consistency they put on. They've weathered the storms of sort of like will they, won't they break up storytelling. Again, just like they're always good in the ring, and the crowd's behind them all the time. So, not a whole lot more you can ask for from the tag team division. So hopefully they'll get a chance. I'd love to see them mix it up a little bit with a couple of main roster tag teams. Not necessarily a call up, but I'd love, something fun. See them in there with War Raiders or DIY or Motor City Machine Guns. It would be a lot of fun. So, but we're coming back on to NXT here any minute now, and continue the show, continue the watch along. But that would be I think that would be great. Fraxium's, yeah, they're solid, more than solid, even better. Ava and Eddie Thorpe. Yeah, you had opportunity after opportunity. Yeah, and I just won the biggest match of my career against Trick William. Sorry to interrupt. We wanted to formally invite you to our party tonight. Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. These are two people I don't know yet. Sorry. I'm still learning some of these people. It's a good idea if I can GM on your parties. You're not talking? Did he do the he did every good party needs good news. No, hell no. I just shocked the world on Saturday. Now you come to complain when your parties? Shouldn't you boys be in class or something anyways? Which Mr. Chase keeps turning us down. So. Yeah, well that's probably for the best because Mr. Chase will probably just ruin your lives and bring you down just like he did Chase you. Wow. How dare you? You don't talk about Mr. Chase like that. He would have whooped your ass in that strap match. Matter of fact, he'll beat you any day of the week. Were they teasing a relaunching of Chase U? And that's why, on behalf of Mr. Chase, we're challenging you to a match. You like to speak on behalf of Mr. Chase, right? Yeah, we do. We're like this. And he'll see you tonight. Like this? Ava is, she's a different kind of GM, isn't she? Not exactly the same stage presence as a Nick Aldis or an Adam Pearce now, is she? Carmen Petrovic here at the NXT arena, ready to take on Miss Parker with Shante at her side. So, yeah, She's got a male valet and a katana blade with her. she's ready to roll. So we got a number one contenders match here. So we'll see what happens. I didn't hear if they said it was number one contender to North American title or the women's title. So see how it goes. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Little 2K25 commercial here before the match starts. I don't know if you guys are into the 2K series. I'm looking forward to what are they showing? Oh, Kalani Jordan in here as well. Okay. Kalani in the house. Okay. So Kalani Jordan, Carmen Petrovich, Jada Parker. Who do y'all have? Who do y'all have in this match tonight? Okay. Okay, for the North American Championship. All right. I didn't hear that the first time around. But between Kalani, Jada, and Carmen, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see Jada take it. I mean, but also whoever's winning this match is gonna square up with Stephanie Vaquer. So I'm not confident that any of them are going to win the title if they do it. So if that's the case, maybe Kalani might take it. I don't know, but I do love Jada. I hope she pulls through. Nevertheless, her and Stephanie could be an entertaining match either way. Okay, Kalani fixed her hair and a Sai moonsault. Okay, takes them both out. Shades of Ultimo Dragon back in the day. Shanti over to the side, just like, get up, Carmen, get up. Just clapping his hands together like one of the clumps or something. Hercules. Okay. Kalani being pretty dominant for being demonstrably the smallest of the three in the match. But Jada's firing off a comeback here. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. Let's see. Booker T and Corey Graves agreeing about something on commentary. That's nice. Okay. Well, back to commercial break. As the triple threat match continues, we'll see who comes out ahead to be the number one contender for the North American Women's Championship, currently held by new champion Stephanie Vaquer. So yeah, we'll see who comes ahead on that. Curious who you guys think is going to win between Carmen Petrovich, Jada Parker, and Kalani Jordan. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we can chat that out. What do you guys are you guys looking forward to WrestleMania season? I've heard a lot about a lot of chatter, I guess, about maybe it being unpredictable. Maybe seems like a strong word, but people a little unsure as to the direction of how for WrestleMania currently. I wonder what you guys think in that regard. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to come out of the Elimination Chamber matches? We've got for the men's match, it's so stacked. Seth Rollins took that last spot Monday night. So you got Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Cena, and Punk, and Damian Priest, which is a pretty crowded, match in terms of talent. I'm curious to see who walks away with that, because that's going to be Cody's challenger for the main event of WrestleMania. So I'm curious what you guys think. Who do you have in the Elimination Chamber match for the men? And then the women, I think the women's even harder to predict than the men. So, we've got so many possibilities, to look into with that. So just don't even know where to begin, because you've got Bianca and Naomi, and then you've got Liv and Bailey, and then you've also got Alexa Bliss, the returning Alexa Bliss, and a main roster debuting Roxanne Perez as well. So that chamber match is going to be crazy for the women as well. So I honestly, that one's much harder to predict for me. I mean, I feel like CM Punk or John Cena would be the most thoughtful winner for the men's match, but for the women, I really just don't know. I mean, maybe Bliss for that, but it could be crazy, and Roxanne could pull it off too, because everybody else, I mean, I don't know, because you got Roxanne and Bailey, right? They're still kind of pairing off. Then you got, Naomi and Bianca are the tag champions, although will they be the tag champions by the time it comes around, because they're defending the tag belts against Liv and Raquel on Raw next week, I believe. So we'll see what happens. Dossie Chatham says, I hope Jada wins, but I think Kalani is winning. I agree with you 100% there. I'm super behind Jada Parker in NXT, but it is such a crowded talent roster for the women right now. I wonder how she's going to really move up. I mean, between all those, just all those great talents in the women's division. I mean, the fact that Stephanie Vaquer just became champion, and I don't know anybody out of this match is going to really stand against her in a title match. And then you got Jordan Grace just showed up, after Vengeance Day. So, man, it's a great time in terms of there's plenty of matchups, that could happen. But man, I don't feel good about whoever wins this match, as we are back to the show now, and Jada and Kalani are throwing blows back and forth at each other at this time. JR, you say you've got Cena winning. Okay, you know what? I think that's more than fair. Listen, he's on his farewell tour. It's going to be his last WrestleMania. He does deserve a big marquee match. I mean, I think being the title match in WrestleMania, I mean, you can't get any bigger than that for his final WrestleMania match, and that's certainly a lane they could choose to go down. And right now, I don't know who else would even make more sense, maybe other than CM Punk. But between those two men, I'd have a hard time finding an argument for any of the other six, So I think Cena is definitely an understandably safe bet for that match. For the girls, Perez, you know what? I feel like that is kind of it's not a crazy pick in that you're crazy for picking it, but I think that would be such a good I don't want to say crazy, but just a really bold choice, seeing her versus Rhea. I think they would have great chemistry together in the ring. I think it would be a lot of fun, that match. So I kind of hope you're right. I hope they go with Roxanne. Because she's got just enough attitude to pair well with Rhea, but and Alexa could win too, but I'm not as big of a fan of spooky Alexa as everyone else is. I don't think it's bad, but spooky Alexa versus Rhea just doesn't excite me that much. I'd honestly rather see that sort of the goddess and a rendition of her versus Rhea instead. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the matchup, the lead up, would be more entertaining that way. But Roxanne and Rhea, I'd love for those promos. I'd love to see the story they tell in that, other than you're a great champion and I was a great champion in NXT. Like if they could actually really formulate a story there, it'd be fantastic. And if Rhea wasn't already done with Dominic, how wild could it be if Roxanne was like Dom's girl number 3? They shouldn't do it. It's not really a good idea. But seeing him go from like Rhea to Liv to Roxy would be hilarious to me. Um, just that mullet would grow even longer, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, I think Roxanne is a very interesting pick. I think going right out of the gate and giving her that would be a lot of fun. Um, Meanwhile, we've still got this match going. You got Carmen and Kalani in the far corner. And so Kalani's now sitting on one turnbuckle and Jada's on the other. And Kalani's coming off with that was not Stratisfaction. Trish used to do that, though. A little handstand Hurricane Rana. And she got them both. Oh, wow. Okay. She took Kalani off the top and she landed on top of Jada. That was actually a good spot there. But they're working. These ladies are working. It's a consistent match. Oh gosh, Jada just smacked Carmen. I didn't even know she could get that much of a reaction. I thought Carmen was more covered up than that. That slap, you could hear that in AEW. Jeez, man. Okay, Jada and Carmen in the ring alone. Adonis still just playing cheerleader on the outside. He hadn't really gotten involved. All right, he's wedging Carmen. Oh, she's smacking her in the stomach. That's why. I thought she was like Gunther chopping her. Oh, well, she's high stepping now. Jada's getting worked up. Oh, here comes Adonis pulling Carmen out of the ring. Kalani was on the top, though, ready to strike, and she got distracted. Here comes Jada going up top to try to take advantage. Let's see what happens. Superplex. Oh, she had a good snap on that. Okay, Jada. There you go. Oh, now she's about to hit that second rope drop, maybe. Here we go again. Oh, Jada's got it going. She's high stepping again, and now Adonis just threw Carmen in. Oh my gosh. Okay. Carmen steals it. Stolen win by Carmen Petra. Oh, Jada's not having it either. She grabbing her by the extensions, taking a shot. Jada getting some heat back. Oh, Kalani's now Fez pressing Jada. Oh, they're about to roll outside. Joey Styles would have had a conniption yelling about this right now back in the day. But Jada and Kalani still fighting. They're fighting into the crowd. Honestly, respect, though. I was just subtly complaining about Ashanti. Our brother AJ would be proud of the ending of that match. Ashanti used his head, didn't get violent with any of the ladies. He pulled Carmen out at an advantageous time and threw her right back in to steal a pin. Jordan Grace wandering the halls of NXT. She's now had a wardrobe change since she arrived in the morning. Uh-oh. Carmen getting jumped by Fatal Attraction here as we're cutting back to the ring. Will anybody come and help? It's strange seeing Ashanti stand in the corner helpless, like not doing anything to protect her. I know you can't throw the women around, but you could do something, Ashanti. Come on. Bet you wish you had B-Fab with you now, didn't you? And he's just hollering for help as we go to picture in picture, asking for somebody to come down from the locker room. I see a couple of referees just pointing disapprovingly. Man, she's getting jumped 3-on-1. They're still jumping her. She's not getting any help. You know what I missed back in the day? WWE and WCW would do this at times as if, a babyface is getting beaten down by a faction of heels, whether it's the Four Horsemen or the Heenan family or what have you. just other baby faces who were in the locker room would come down to help. They didn't have to be in a storyline. And that worked for the good guys because good guys are just like good guys. And they're like, hey, that's not right. Let me come down and help a brother out. And they're not helping a sister out. Oh, Ashanti just got cracked in the back with a chair. He finally stood up to those mean girls. And he got cracked in the back of the chair for his troubles. You kind of look, and they're going back to beating down Carmen. I mean, this is kind of, I feel bad for Carmen. I mean, she just had this long triple threat match, and this beatdown has gone through the entire commercial break. This is crazy. It's still going. And Ashante took one chair shot to the back, and he is out of commission. Man, she does not have any friends. She does not have any friends, and they are just stealing her lunch money. All right. J.R. Dugan says, with WrestleMania season last year, it went 100 miles an hour, and now it's slowly coming together. For me, my question is, where does CM Punk and Randy Orton come into play at WrestleMania? That is a great question, JR. I don't have a clue where Randy Orton comes to play. My only thought is that they've now announced Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for Elimination Chamber, which at first I thought, like, why couldn't they just wrestle at WrestleMania? But with Elimination Chamber being in Toronto and them going unsanctioned for their match, I think that's really going to light the show on fire. Those two guys, they're going to be super motivated to put on a fantastic match in Toronto for that show. Now, oh, Stephanie Vaquer is now in the house, and she took her sweet, sweet time coming to the ring. I'm still in picture here during the commercial break. So, if for those of you who didn't have picture in picture, this is going to be really weird because they went to commercial during the beatdown, and now Stephanie. Oh, and here comes Julia. Okay, Julia's now coming down to back up Stephanie. I could get behind this 2-woman power trip. Samantha, yes, she did. She took her sweet, sweet time. I mean, they had that beat down, took a break, and then went back for dessert, and then she came out. It was crazy. Anyway, JR, what's up, A and B? Welcome. You are in the house. Diglets, let's go. Come on in, buddy. Okay. Well, now we got Toxic Attraction. Now they're Cobra Kaiing up on Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. I'm surely Jordan's got to show up. Surely we got to have something because this is getting to like NWO levels of annoying. There we go. There we go. Here comes the pain. Here comes the 5'1" Brock Lesnar. Here we go. Jordan's throwing hands, throwing soup bones, throwing forearms. JR, I have not finished this sentence. I've started it 5 times. My short version is I think there's a chance Randy Orton comes back before WrestleMania to fight Kevin Owens. But we'll see. We'll see. These 3, I mean, this is a 6-woman tag I'd be down for. Give them time. Put that over. Jordan's putting over the best women's division in wrestling. No lies detected. Six-woman tag tonight. Toxic Attraction versus. We need a name. These are like the Justice League of women's wrestling here. Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, and I mean, good Lord, it is basically Superman, Batman, and who would Julia be? I mean, something amazing because we love Julia here, don't we? Don't we? I love all 3 of those ladies. They're fantastic. Anyway, goodness gracious, that's going to be fun. So those queens are going to knock somebody out for sure. Backstage segment with the D'Angelo family. Whoa, somebody hit the tanning bed super hard. Samantha Poole, NXT Roadblock's going to be at MSG. Oh, gosh. NXT show at Madison Square Garden is going to be off the chain, no doubt, no doubt. Now, are they going to be in like legit Madison Square Garden, or is it in that theater next door? Either way, it's phenomenal because I've seen the seating set up for that adjacent building. Either way, but we got Lash and Jakara here. I'm telling you, every time I want to start another sentence, NXT just keeps bringing people on screen I want to see. So it's all good. Diglett says they can be called the League of Nations. Surely they've incurred a little bit more equity than to be called the League of Nations. I mean, we could at least call them the League of Shadows. I don't know. The League of Nations. Oh my gosh. I'd call them the Dungeon of Doom first before the League of Nations. I mean, listen, the actual wrestlers in the League of Nations were all individually good wrestlers, but man, that thing went over like a lead balloon. No doubt. Okay, we got Lash and Jakara in the house. I've never quite understood Jakara's fixation with the lollipop gimmick, but whatever. Is this Zarya? Is this Zarya and Sol Ruka? You guys owe it to yourselves, by the way, if you didn't see on Vengeance Day, or if you haven't seen online, they did like me and my best friend out and about with Sol Ruka and Zarya. And it was the funniest and simultaneously most wholesome thing I've seen in a minute, of like Sol Ruka trying to teach Zarya how to have fun. It felt almost kind of Daniel Bryan and Kane-ish back in the day. But anyway, love it. Oh, they're showing it. They're showing part of it now. This is so entertaining. What should we call ourselves? We need to name Sol and Zarya too. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Graves and Booker getting along, but thankfully their chemistry is on point tonight. Did any of y'all ever play Street Fighter growing up? Street Fighter 2? Because I get some real like Blanca vibes from Zarya, and I mean that in the best way possible. She's just like a monster. Like, I feel like she could unleash an electric attack if she wanted to. But if Sol and Zarya are truly going to be a team, you know the drill. 1, they need a name. 2, matching gear. And 3, tandem offense. So let's see how they grow in their chemistry together. Street Fighter 4 was a great addition of the franchise for sure. Man, listen, I've never been to Madison Square Garden, but as an old school wrestling fan, knowing that WrestleMania 1, 10, and 20 all took place there, like I have an affection for any show that comes from there, because you always know that whoever's putting on the show is going to try to put on something memorable whenever it's there. So it's always special. So, okay, that's a different kind of move. Sol Ruka's a backflip bonsai drop, I guess. I don't know. Knees first. My. All right, Sol Ruka and Zarya versus Lash Legend and Shakara Jackson. Who do you guys got tonight for this tag match? Who do you think is going to take the win? I would say it's for some tag titles, but well, that's been a sore subject in our community for the past amount of time. The lack of NXT women's tag titles. Although, I mean, gosh, I wish they would just, I don't know. There's so many more tag team options in NXT than there are on the main roster for women. Lash said, I can press better than you. I can press better than you. Okay. Lash is unafraid. Oh, man. Quite a headbutt. Headbutt and then walked into, we thought a Hurricane Rana, but Lash, okay. Oh, nope. Took her out of the ring. Oh, no. Okay. Jakara coming off with a drop kick. I thought she was going to be, what's up, T-Man? Welcome to the chat. Right now, we got Lash and Jakara taking on Sol Ruka and Zarya. And suicide dive by Jakara. She took out both Zarya and Sol Ruka. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Doing all right. The ladies are posing as we go to break. All right, y'all. Glad everybody's here tonight while we're waiting on the commercial break. Thankfully, there's not an extended beatdown in this commercial break like there was before. I just got to feeling sorry for Carmen Petrovich in that last one. But I'm glad you guys are here. How's the weather, everybody? How's everybody doing? Everybody looking forward to where are we now? We're in mid-February. Looking forward to Elimination Chamber, March 1st. Big show coming there. Big WrestleMania implications as we're getting closer and closer to the biggest show of the year in Las Vegas. Lash and Jakara should have been called up by now. Yeah, T-Man, I agree. Like I thought they were going to be up by now. They were teasing them for a while with Bianca and Naomi, or even Bianca and Jade, and then it just stopped. And I'm not sure what the deal was with that. I'm curious. What do you guys think? So here's the deal: Bianca and Naomi are both in the Elimination Chamber as individuals, and then that's still what 2 weeks away. But next Monday on Raw, they're going to be defending the tag titles against Liv and Raquel. Who do you think comes away with the tag team titles in that match? Do you think we finally get an appearance from Jade Cargill, or do you think they're just going to keep dragging that out? Diglett's calling for Liv and Raquel taking the belts, brother. Yes. That makes sense to me. Although I wasn't in the chat with you guys on Monday, so I had to watch. Just shout out, by the way, just all you guys, since you guys are my wrestling family, other than my actual family who loves wrestling. Yesterday was my son's birthday. Turned 13. My boy Solomon. So just all together, we can just say, "I love you, Solo," which is I don't think he loves it when I say that in the house, but because of that, we were out hanging out for his birthday, so I didn't see Raw live. However, all that to say, Raw last night, absolutely loved Bianca and Naomi's Bring It On outfits. The Bring It On inspired gear. I absolutely love the creativity and outfits that come from Bianca and Naomi. I mean, any of the performers who actually put a little more effort into their design is always fun with me. So T-Man says Bianca and Naomi losing Monday, better have a follow-up with the Jade return. I know. I feel like she's right on the precipice of coming back. She's got to be close at this point, I would think. Naomi is the rat, but I want to see EST go rogue. Hard to say when Jade will be back, but she does show up as Clobber in time. Yes, so A and B. I would not be surprised if we get a little bit of that Rikishi Triple H, I did it for the Rock kind of stuff. Or no, wait, hold on. I'm mixing up my parking lot beatdowns here. But where we maybe find out it's Naomi, but Bianca, I'm telling you, like, it's hard to hold. It's hard to hold these in weight together and in balance, because I don't really want Bianca to go heel, because she's like the female Cena to me. Like, she's so good for like kids and stuff, and I have a personal investment to that. Like, my kids were really into her when they first started watching wrestling and all. But I will say she's got the best natural story to turn heel. Like, if it was Bianca, she could just be like, I was the top woman in this division. I've beaten all the horsewomen minus Charlotte. You get there. It's like, I've headlined WrestleMania, and they saddled me with you, this wrestler who's all look and can't wrestle and blah blah blah, and I had to carry you. Like, oh my gosh, like, she could say all that stuff. And honestly, I almost wonder if it would work like Becky Lynch when she turned heel and everybody loved her more. Honestly, I would love that, because I want to see more edge to Bianca. Like, when they showed up last night and Liv looked like her lunch money was about to get stolen, like, I like that. I want to see some more edge, not to be confused with coke I want to see some attitude, some ruthless aggression, something like that. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Clover. Captain America. I enjoyed Captain America. I feel like I'm grading everything that came out after Endgame just on a different scale. Um, I don't know that anything I'll be as excited about any of those movies as I was prior to Endgame. And I'm at peace with that. But I was really happy that that movie actually acknowledged there's a giant celestial corpse sticking out of the ocean, which that was helpful. They finally done that. And also, I don't want to spoil things in the chat for people who still want to go see it. But there were a couple of characters who showed up that I had forgotten about that I'm really glad that they were introduced, and I'm hoping that they stick around for a few more movies. Oh, JR, you were there. Okay, awesome. You were there, Charlotte. Dude, the crowd was great in Charlotte. NXT crowd here tonight, also as good as always. They've been amped up. They were very amped up. By the way, if you're just joining us and you haven't watched, Obafemi opened the show tonight, agitated as all get out, and he was interrupted by Moose from TNA, the X Division champion, and Obafemi had a stare down, and they definitely just came out and said, you and me are throwing hands at some point soon. They didn't, establish anything. They didn't book anything, but we are going to get Obafemi versus Moose at some point, which is going to be really exciting. We have not seen the Shield Retribution Nexus group, whoever they are, and we have not seen the artist who might be known as Ricky Starks yet. Well, other than just entering the arena, he survived the parking lot. He didn't get jumped in the parking lot, so we can be happy about that. So yeah. What are the chances that Jade said, I did it? I threw myself on that damn car. You know what? Honestly, that would be a great. I would be there for that too, Diglets. I don't mind a little bit of self-sabotage in that way. I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, that would be great. Jade's better as it. She just looks like a heel. You know what I mean? Like some people just look like the villain. Like that's why Sean Bean is a villain in almost every movie he's in. He just looks like somebody you can't trust. Willem Dafoe. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of performers in the world who just look like somebody who should be evil. And I want to say Jade's evil, but I think she more naturally can communicate a presence that you would want to boo than one you would want to cheer. So I think she should lean into that. I think she could be great. And also as a heel, she probably didn't have to do as much carrying in the ring. So honestly, I think that would be better for her. So if we have Bianca versus Jade, I honestly would rather see Bianca as the face in that match. Although not like a bubblegum baby face, not a Ricky Steamboat baby face, but and not all the way like a Steve Austin baby face, but like a, just somebody who's a little fired up, yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, ruthless aggression. I got to admit, for as long as this match is going on, Zarya's face paint has held up pretty well on point from what I can see. Whatever she's using is working for her. JR, there were 15,000 on Raw. Everybody had their Fireflies up for the main event. I saw that dude, Seth and Finn had a great match. They had a great match. If you asked me, like, what do you want to do with Finn? I'd probably say, I don't know, but because there's so many top level talents right now on Raw, but like, you just put him in the ring, man. Like, he's great. Honestly, some people wouldn't be satisfied with it, but I'd kind of put him down to the mid card with Braun Breaker and Penta and AJ Styles, and like, just let those guys work. Soul Snatcher. Soul hits a Soul Snatcher out of nowhere. And Soul and Zarya, the team yet to be named, come away with the victory. Hard-fought win for the ladies. For Chun-Li and Blanca. Well, she's not Chun-Li. She's American. But Cammy was English. Was there a white American fighter in Street Fighter? Now that I'm trying to remember. I really only played the first couple of games. So, trying to remember. But, yeah. Guile. Well, the hair needs some work, Diglets. Sakura is the character to play. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe they could call their no. I was about to say Sonic Boom. They could call their characters Sonic Boom, but I guess that's a little bit close. Wesley, Tyreek, and Tyson. There's no secret. NXT is completely unpredictable. Anything can happen to anyone at any time around here. Wesley just talking about how unpredictable NXT is. Wesley, when did Wesley lose his braids? Is that new? Oh, here comes Ricky. Oh, she just straight up walked away from Wes mid-sentence to talk to Ricky Starks. Okay, let's go. Diglets, LFG is on A&E. It's on the A&E channel. And let me tell you, A&E is a pain in the butt to try to find on streaming services. I still have not found a way to find them. I've been it took a lot out of me today just to try to get NXT live where I am and not 3 hours later. But I know I really want to see this LFG show. I honestly want to go back because this documentary content that they're making on A&E looks really good too. I heard Roman's documentary is fantastic, and of course, the old head that I am, they did one on Ricky Steamboat that I really want to see too. Some of the stuff they push out to their YouTube channel after a while, but that's not anytime immediately after, you know. So if you have access somehow to get the A&E network, it comes on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. But T-Man, okay. Diglets, I don't believe it's on YouTube TV. Well, you might have to pay extra. I think you can get it as an add-on on YouTube TV. I don't have it on mine. I've looked for it and haven't found it. So, but yeah, I'm a little frustrated with WWE with picking CW for NXT and picking A&E for all their supplementary stuff because they're really hard to get a hold of and to be accessible, especially like live all at the same time. So, which is a shame because the content looks great. Did you guys see WWE's independent program, the ID program, have their own title belts? Now they have their own. Triple H revealed those today. You can find them online. They have a men's and women's championship that are going to be defended on indie shows. Which I have to say, if you guys have seen those titles, I want to say that is the maximum size I want to see a WWE logo on a center plate for a WWE title. That's as big as the W needs to be. Yeah, I mean, the titles look fine, but it's perfect W size. I'll give you that. And I don't know. I don't know how that will shake out. I imagine main roster WWE programming will probably treat those titles like the Speed title. We probably won't hear much about it. But it's cool that I think it's cool they're getting into the indies. I mean, because by doing that, they're again getting more and more pipelines. I know that can be a little bit of a divisive conversation for some people who think that, big corporation is killing the independents and stuff. And, depending on how it goes, there could be some validity to that argument. But also, this opens a pretty good pipeline as well. I want you guys, while we're on commercial break, to think about this because our friend, Just Alex, posted a question, and I encourage you later on to go to his page and contribute to that conversation. He asked, has Shinsuke Nakamura's career been a wash in WWE? Yes or no? And there's some good, healthy discussion on both sides of that. And it makes me think the advent of things like this WWE ID and them like reviving Evolve and the way they're bringing like NIL athletes into NXT through the Performance Center. I honestly think, before they would just find the most popular indie wrestlers. I mean, that's not all they did, but that's a lot of what they did. in like the heyday of NXT Black and Gold, right? And those are some of the performers that we all kind of mourned once they got on the main roster because, like, oh, they were wasted. Bobby Roode got wasted. Nakamura got wasted. Samoa Joe got wasted. And I'm not saying none of that's true. I think those three specifically were very mishandled when they came up. Never really got past mid card dominance. I mean, calling it dominance is very generous, honestly. Now, that being said, I think these programs could better identify talent on the indies and get them prepared to succeed in the WWE system earlier. So that way, if they do come up to the main roster, they'll be main roster ready and less likely to be misused. That's my hope, is how that would work. Because, and I'm not blaming Nakamura, Rude, or Joe for their own misuse. I think Vince's presence had a lot to do with that. It was very clear that Hunter had a certain vision for how he identified popular and marketable talent in NXT and how that came into conflict with what Vince thought. And since Vince is in charge, that's how it goes. But we're back on the air now. Ava's coming to the ring, and I believe it's will he or won't he be called Ricky Starks time. So anyway, I want to be optimistic. One thing that I hope you guys get from my channel is that we're always going to start with optimism. We can be disappointed later if we're proven wrong, but let's just start out believing the best about what we're watching and each other. And it's killing me that he is getting his entrance and there's still not a name. They are milking this name so much. Not since Citizen Kane has a name been so important. Diglett, you know what? I'm not fully sold on Ricky yet either, which is why I'm glad he's on NXT and not Raw or SmackDown yet. I felt like he didn't come off super well in that now viral promo he had with then Adam Copeland. I mean, I thought they both looked stupid in that promo, to be honest. But still, he's young, and he does possess a certain arrogance you need to be a successful pro wrestler. So hopefully he'll develop into what he needs to be. So let's see what happens. I'm low-key surprised that Ava hasn't already fumbled and actually called him the name he's supposed to be called yet. All right, let's see what happens. Putting over NXT.
And before I get started, before I sign, can I talk to y'all for a minute? Because there's some things I'd like to get off my chest.
Oh boy. All right. He's about to talk. Let's not let this be a burial on AEW.
It's the dream. But no. For me, it's reality. Standing right here is reality.
Okay. NXT is a dream, but for him, it's a reality.
Every NXT PLE, that's reality.
Main eventing PLEs.
That's reality, baby.
Well, winning the title ain't reality yet, dude.
All of this is that I am the man in NXT.
It's funny he's getting cheered, but everything he's saying is super heelish.
And I am going to do what I do always to the best of my ability. That's show up and show out, because right now the revolution begins.
I just want y'all to know that contractually, WWE could do the funniest thing and call him Edge. They have the right to call him Edge, and that would be the funniest thing in the world to me. It would be stupid and not worth it, but they could call him Edge. Okay, here comes Ethan Page. Here's an exchange I'm interested to see. But I tell you what, if they end this segment without giving him a name, I'm going to start losing my patience. Diglett, you're not wrong. WCW didn't learn that lesson in time in the 90s. You want to treat the other company like a buffet. Just pick the better ones. Just don't take whoever's available. Oh. His contract says his first match is for a title.
Following the Ethan Page playbook to a T. But I want to come out here.
So Starks is here. The next time he's in a ring, he's being called a ripoff again. So Edge called him a Miz ripoff or a Rock ripoff, and now Ethan Page is saying you're an Ethan Page ripoff.
I really got you in your feelings, huh? That's crazy. Is it because that I showed up and you know that the spotlight ain't big enough for the both of us? Is that what it is? Because I can tell you right now, you're wearing your insecurity as tight as you got that jacket on.
Is it just me? Is Ricky kind of short? I mean, doesn't mean he's not a bad worker, but I thought he was taller.
And I talk the talk, and I'm here to take this place to a whole nother level. Oh, you're going to take this place to another level, huh? As big of a superstar as you are, even you won't be able to reach the bar that I set for people coming into NXT. Well, listen, I don't think we should be doing this right now. Right now is the time for celebration, man.
Okay. So it's not my imagination.
The hottest pro wrestling brand right now. And you, Ethan, oh my God, you did it. Your big victory over Javon at Vengeance Day. Go you, man. We should be celebrating that.
There's something about Starks' delivery that doesn't sit well with me.
People like Javon always come back around to whoop that ass.
What's up, Rickardy? You're here right in time for contract signing time.
The rescue of Javon Evans. I'm pretty sure Javon couldn't walk himself out of the venue Saturday. And if I was a betting man, which I am,
Oh, here's Javon. Javon's showing up, throwing hands with Ethan Page. We still don't know Ricky's name. The contract hasn't been signed yet, although Ethan Page has alluded to the fact that his first match will be for a title. Javon done chased Ethan right out of the stands.
I wasn't wrong. So back to what I was about to do before I got interrupted.
Oh my gosh, we've got another interruption. And now Wes Lee is here.
Come on, music. Look, I know who you are. Now, you're also new around here, so I'm going to give you a pass for what happened earlier. But you had got to
I wouldn't mind seeing Wes Lee versus Ricky Starks. NXT knows exactly what they're doing here. This is driving me nuts. Can you just say, like, at this point, Joe Hendry will show up because we want them to say his name so bad. This is nuts.
If that's something that you want, then we can certainly make that happen.
Look, is everybody around here always angry all the time? What is this?
He said, "Is everybody angry all the time?" And Ava's just in the background going, "Yes."
You and Ethan, y'all are two peas of the same pod. Y'all always talking above your limit. So let me tell you this. I'm going to do one better, actually. Next week, you and I, how about that? Just sign the contract.
Maybe Ricky Starks versus Wes Lee next week.
I'm going to give you this fair warning, my man. Next week, you are going to be welcomed to the revolution.
Oh man, he caught Wes. Caught him cold, knocked him right out of the ring. Okay, he has signed his contract. He's staring at his palm, but do we know his name? Ricky Saints. What do you guys think? Ricky Saints. Fraxium is in the backstage area. All right, let's rate the name out of 10. Ricky Saints. I mean, yeah, it could have been where Ricky's a 4. Gives it a 4. It's not even the best name. He could have been Ricky Falcons, Ricky Panthers, Ricky Buccaneers. Had to go with Saints. 6 by Justin. Welcome, Justin. Let's see. He's from New Orleans. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll respect that. Yeah, that's right. He is from New Orleans. I forgot all about that. So, Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints works as a wrestler name. Honestly, it probably has a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more cachet than Starks. But it'll take some getting used to. Everybody hated Daniel Bryan when that name was given to Bryan Danielson, but they got used to it. Dude, no quarter catch crew just challenged the Hardy Boys. Rickard, you're talking about Lexus King. Yeah, Brian Pillman Jr. I know. So the legacy performers, I do wish we could have a little bit more of a just give them their names. Like Braun Breaker could be a Steiner. I mean, but it is what it is. Some of those guys just want to make a name for themselves, even though it's unavoidable. Sean Spears, who has picked up Izzy Dame since last week. But look, we've got possible no quarter catch crew versus the Hardys. We've got Oba Femi possibly versus Moose. There's some real I hate calling it Forbidden Door because we all know why. But there's some real interesting inter-promotional matches coming up. Possibilities, anyways. Sean Spears versus Sax Lorenzo coming up soon. So we'll see where it takes us after the commercial break. But yeah, so they are really pushing the NXT TNA thing. Everybody on the show tonight has had some kind of through line with a story. I mean, we've got the alpha females of the women's division, Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan, taking on Fatal Attraction tonight, still in the main event, I'm assuming. Ricky is now Ricky Saints. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So good for NXT. I mean, listen, this was a time where you had some performers who were just kind of like hanging around, looking for something to do when they're on screen. But I got to give props to HBK and everybody working on that creative team. Everybody who shows up on screen has something to do. So I'll give them that. It's a solid show. I'm going to have to be doing my homework a lot more. I'd taken a break from NXT a little bit when they first got to CW because it was kind of hard to track them down on TV at first. And in that time, a lot's already happened. So they're really bringing it, and they're giving their talent a lot to do. So you can't, I can't be mad at that. So it's I'm going to have to get a little refamiliarized with some of the talent, though, as some of these new people are coming along. So see, Samantha Poole asking a question. Thank you, Samantha. Steven, how do you feel about people saying that Black should join the Judgment Day since they want a new member and WWE is already planning creative for him once he's back, if you've seen that? I have seen, the assumptions that Aleister Black or Malachi Black, whatever he's going to be called, Malachi Saints, just kidding, it should be on his way back to WWE. And yeah, I'm intrigued by Judgment Day talking about adding a new member. I don't love that for Aleister Black. I wish he would be somewhere else. Honestly, I don't know that I need him to be in a faction right now, as he could just be on his own. I would love to see him mixing it up with Braun Breaker and AJ Styles and Penta and Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus and like all the like intercontinental scene right now. I don't feel like his sort of personality, his aura, so to speak, on the show blends well with Finn Balor and Carlito and those guys. I mean, they look like they might shop at the same store to buy clothes, but I don't. He would have been a better fit for Judgment Day back when Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were in there, I think. But I wouldn't want him in there now. If I had to put him in a faction of any kind, I would consider finding a way to put him in with the Wyatts, I think. But even then, I don't. But even then, I don't want to do that. I would really want Black on his own But that's just me. What do you think, Samantha? How do you feel about that? And how do you guys feel about this? Like Judgment Day wants a new member. Like, who do you guys think would be a good fit for Judgment Day coming back? Honestly, somebody. And I mean, it's okay. You guys can hate this idea with a certain amount of repackaging. Um, I think a returning Rusev could be fun for Judgment Day. Not like not like goofy R-Truth level goofy Rusev, but a little bit of that intensity that he used to have before Rusev Day was a thing. But he could have just a touch of, a touch of that intensity. And we're back. Speaking of me saying why at 6, somebody just murdered a bunch of people in the locker room. Let's see. Ricky. So I'm guessing that Retribution group is in the house somewhere. A little bit of a comedic beat there from Ricky Saints. So, wow, I just walked in. Damn, this place is crazy. And just walked off. Yeah, I agree with you, Samantha, for sure. By the way, guys, what Ricky, I see Lana return with Rusev. Not really. I feel like that ship is kind of passed. I wouldn't want to see Lana with him anymore. I think Rusev should do his own thing. Or if you want to pair him up, I mean, I don't mind them pairing him up with another woman, but not Lana. And it's no disrespect to Lana. I don't even know if she's even involved in wrestling anymore. But honestly, there's a lot of women's performers who were great in the time that they were like on TV. But women's wrestling is evolving really, really quickly. And I feel like it's passed a lot of those ladies by now. So I mean, I would love to, pair him up with bring up a lady from NXT if you want, or I'm trying to think of who you could pair him up with right now. I know there's somebody that you probably could to keep things going, but nevertheless, I think you could do that. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, by the way, please share with your friends. We're always trying to build our subscribers. Please like and subscribe so we can continue to grow our interactive experience. So we can start implementing things like super chats. If you want to donate to the channel, though, even though we're not at that point yet, I know some of you guys are super loyal friends and family of the channel. In the description, I've put some donation options that should be there. If they're not there, let me know. I'll put them in the chat. But I've got those available for anybody who wants to donate. So yeah, Justin, good to see you, man. Justin Allen Crane, Steven, how do you feel if Black and Cross as a tag team? There you go. Okay, so I take back what I said about Wyatt 6 because I'd forgotten. That's not a good sign, by the way. I'd forgotten about the Final Testament, which shows you how much Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain had left an impact on me, which I wish them all the best in their future endeavors. And I don't mean that to be sarcastic or coy, but Aleister Black and or Malachi Black, whoever he is, Saints Black, and Killer Cross would be a Karrion Cross. Oh my gosh, I'm just saying all the gimmick names tonight. But I think Black and Cross could be a really fun duo, and keep Scarlett with them. I think that would be excellent. Yeah, yeah, I think that they could have a lot of fun as a tag team. I'd love to see them as against the War Raiders. Cross is on Raw, right? Yeah, he's on Raw. Yeah, see them against the War Raiders, them against American Made, like they would be great. Yeah, I'm curious what kind of chemistry Black and Cross would have, but as far as their dynamics, their personalities, I think they'll be awesome. That's a great suggestion, Justin. Um, big fan of your suggestion there. Good call. Spears just having his way with Lorenzo, beating him like he owes him money, putting his boot to his head, saying, "Are you a cop?" Departed reference for some of you guys. Black and Rusev would officially be back in May once our 90 days up. Okay, so that would be a couple of weeks after WrestleMania. So between WrestleMania and the next PLE, which is not bad because then you could kind of space out any returns you want to do. Here's a question. How do you guys feel about Shawn Spears? I mean, he was like one of the earliest returns from AEW back to NXT. How do you guys feel about him now that he's been there in a while? Not a bad spine buster there by Stax. Arn Anderson would be mildly impressed, probably. You want to see Black and Cross and Penta in a faction. Okay, that's interesting. I think he's doing more here than an AEW. I mean, I agree. It's hard. It's hard for anybody to do a lot in AEW over a long period of time, with the exception of the sort of chosen few there. They kind of everybody. A lot of people get cycled in and out there with their TV time, and Spears was no different there. Okay, here we go. Spears going for the Death Valley Driver. You know what? The where they got the C4, but the Death Valley Driver used to be one of my favorite. Finishers in all of wrestling. Monday Night Wars era Saturn, before the Radicals jumped to WWF, using the Death Valley Driver as his finish. Like, that was one of my favorite finishes. And now, like, just with the evolution of wrestling and like the escalation of dangerous moves and stuff, it looks so much more tame than it used to. But bro, a good Death Valley Driver, like a good spine buster or a good DDT, like you get that thing over. Death Valley Driver is a great move. A and B in the house. Sean's not bad at all. I think he's enjoying himself working with the young talent. Also, better job security on NXT than the main roster. If he doesn't get over, he gets canned. Yeah. I do. Oh, Moose is here talking to Lexus. Also, Lexus King's barber needs to get fired. That guy's walking into barbershops giving white men everywhere a bad name.
Challenging us for our titles. But yeah, I don't see you putting your X Division title on the line. And it's heritage. Hey, stop right there, because I'm tired of listening to this nonsense. I know how you guys do things here. When people are shot, and my teammate X Division championship, all you have to do is ask. Since that's what you want. Next week, I'll destroy you. Just like I've done to everyone else.
Moose versus Lexus King for the X Division title next week. There we go. In Cincinnati, in Pillman's backyard, dude. AJ is happening, dude. I'm telling you, we're tiptoeing closer and closer to title switching brands. Come on, let's have some incoming freshmen to chase you. Let's relaunch Chase U. Come on, guys. Come on, let's relaunch the U. I'm telling you, that needs to be an ongoing faction in NXT history. Just have graduation ceremonies for people when they get called up, and then bring in incoming freshmen. We need Chase U back. Even after Andre Chase can't, maybe, doesn't even want to wrestle or something anymore, he could be the dean of Chase U or something. I don't know. He looks a little despondent. Not unlike John Cena on January 6th. Andre Chase versus Eddie Thorpe coming up next. Tell me, you guys. So I didn't get to watch the Vengeance Day stream with you guys, other than for a couple of minutes here and there. What do you guys think about Eddie Thorpe? Where do you guys land on him? Because I was like, oh, Trick should beat him, and I was like way wrong. Thorpe came out on top in that strap match. Just curious what you guys think about Eddie Thorpe as a performer, as a character. where does he land for you guys? Samantha, WWE pretty close in getting the Lucha Brothers. TK and Phoenix are reportedly in negotiation to end his contract. I don't know what's there to negotiate. I think they can just. I don't know why they can't just let Phoenix go. I mean, they let Miro go. They let Black go. And who else? Oh, Ricky. They let Ricky go. So like, in the words of Ricky Henderson, Ricky gone. Ricky's gone. And I mean, it's hard not to feel personal um, with the Ray Phoenix situation at this point, because I feel like they're just holding him back so they can try to somehow let. I mean, I'm putting words in Tony's mouth here, but it almost feels as if they're trying to let Penta cool off or something before they give Phoenix a shot at going over there. And Penta ain't cooling off though. He's one of the hottest acts in on Raw right now. So like I'm not for that. I wish they just let him go in there and although there's a part of me that's really enjoying Penta as a solo performer though. So I'm curious how quickly he would pivot to a tag team once Phoenix is there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to catch up with some of these messages here though. Let's see. Also, AJ and Becky, I wanted to say about Sean Spears, also married to the lovely, lovely former Iconic Peyton Royce. And so I was really hoping we get an Iconic reunion at the Royal Rumble. I want to see them back so bad. Whether they show up to TNA and jump over that way or come back to WWE, even just for, one night only. I loved the Iconics. I thought they were the perfect kind of obnoxious, which is very hard to nail, in my opinion. Nevertheless, all right. Eddie Thorpe, feedback. Three Diglett says, I'm indifferent about Thorpe. He's just not putting my butt in the seat. Yes, exactly. I mean, he looks like he can get the job done to me, but like, I'm not seeing anything that's like grabbing me. And like I'm not trying to be critical of him. I'm just like, okay, I mean, I see him. I'm like, all right, he doesn't make me want to change the channel, but he doesn't make me want to keep the channel on either. A and B says Eddie Thorpe is pretty good in the ring, like him as a heel, but don't love him overall, if that makes sense. Yeah, I see that. Totally see that. Diglis is excited for Rusev Day without Lana. I know. I mean, and imagine that he'll be able to show up alone on Rusev Day of all days. Eddie's good in the ring, but I'm not 100% behind him. I feel you, Samantha. Diglis, yeah, Penta's legit. You're dressing up as Penta for SummerSlam. Let's go. Oh, man. I hope we can please send somebody some photos from that, because you'll be wearing a mask, I'm assuming, anyways, right? So we don't have to worry about, divulging your secret identity to anybody. I think that would be a fantastic thing to share with the group when we do, when we're all together for SummerSlam. Let's go. Look crazy, Diglets. I can't wait. The Iconics and Chelsea Green are perfect. Yes, the Iconics should totally be Secret Service. I was set as soon as Chelsea. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited, but you know what? I really like Chelsea Green's gimmick. It's perfect. They're handling her so much better than they're handling Lyra Valkyria as losing the mic as Intercontinental Champion right now. They're doing a great job with her as U.S. Champion. And sorry for all the noise that may come from this, but I'm trying not to let this mic drop. I'm not having a mic drop moment. It'd be a bad way. But I said early on that I would want Chelsea Green to go full JBL and have an entire cabinet and not just Piper as her Secret Service. I think she should try to get a whole cabinet, and I would love if they brought in the Iconics for that as well. I think they would fit an entire obnoxious administration. I mean, I know we kind of have that in real life right now, but still, I would absolutely love that. Justin's 100% behind Eddie. Okay, Justin, here. I'm not going to put you on. Well, I am going to put you on the spot, but help me understand. What is it about Eddie that does it for you? Because I want to learn. We want to be a space here where we can help each other in our wrestling fandoms. So if there's something we feel like we're lacking in, we can kind of help fill in the gaps for one another. So if you're totally behind Eddie, or unless you're just talking about this match, that's okay too. But if you're totally into Eddie as a character, help me understand why. Like, what is it that really grabs you about him? I want to know. Charlotte loved Lyra last night. Good, good. Lyra's a good performer. So I mean, I don't want to say like she deserves better crowd response because I guess you got to work for it. But I want her to succeed. I like her, but and it hurts my heart to see people indifferent toward her. I hope she continues to get better reactions. Out of all the returns, WWE made a good choice bringing back Chelsea. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, Chelsea. Oh man, that was such a good call. She is so in her bag right now. I'm so happy for her. You know what I mean? Like out of so many of the people coming back, she kind of quietly her. And if you want to count Drew McIntyre from the last time he came back, I think she, out of a lot of the returns, out of all of them, other than maybe Drew, is maybe making the most of her return almost more than anybody else. So I totally get that. Justin, you know what? That's an absolutely great point because to be fair, the last the last demonstrably native gimmick I remember in WWE was Tatanka. And granted, I was like 12 years old when that was out and did not have all the sensitivities I have now as a mature man. But um, it was obviously very caricaturized, and he was a good worker. I was entertained by him as an in-ring wrestler, but there was a lot of like I was watching old Royal Rumbles before the Rumble, and whenever he came out, there was a bit where the crowd was doing the tomahawk chop to support him, and it just felt weird. You know what I mean? Felt weird, and I say that as an Atlanta Braves fan too. It feels weird in a wrestling bit. So that is a fair and good contribution to that. Eddie Thorpe is a good, relevant depiction, of a Native American performer. So that's good. I can get behind that. These two guys who I have not learned the names of yet, though, who are wanting to reform Chase U, are here to support Andre Chase in the corner. Sorry, I'm still learning some of the names of some of these newer performers that I don't remember. Um, but yeah. Also, my tag team partner, Lad, is barking at people walking down the sidewalk. So forgive us for that. Yeah. He's a big Braun Breaker fan, just dogs in the house. I would try to stop my train of thought to silence him, but it's just not going to happen. All right. Is Chase going to channel it? Oh, he's distracted. Lad, hey, come here. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to the chat? Can you? Well, you're not wanting to jump up. Okay, that's probably for the best because he's much bigger than Stella and Bone Crusher. So probably for the best. He would knock everything down. He's a boxer though. All right, Eddie Thorpe wins. Not a huge surprise there. If he beat Trick Williams, I didn't have any doubts that he was going to be beating Andre Chase. But let's see. Just a smidge bigger. Yeah, he is. He's adorable. He's got permanent puppy dog eyes face for sure. Um, well, I wonder if they'll have a slow burn story to the return of Chase U. Are these the? Oh, it's the fact. It's fact. Is it faction time or is that Trick? Trick looked like it just got real for him. Okay, Trick. Yeah. Trick looked like he wasn't playing around. Made him look like the Shogun, though. Shogun of Harlem. That's right. Showing up. Channel my inner Tracy Morgan, Who Dat Ninja. Man. He did say something about underground. He's like, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. You think they'll have an underground match? Trick and Eddie? I wonder how that would go. But I like that demeanor. I don't. Is it too soon for Trick to be on the main roster? That's a good question. I think he could. I think this could be the year he comes up to the main roster. I don't think he needs to be in a hurry to get there right now because the the men's division in NXT does not seem as crowded as the women's. Um, but I think after WrestleMania, maybe even right before SummerSlam or something. I agree, Diglets. I was expecting Trick at the Rumble too, just at least for a cameo appearance. I mean, I thought he would show up there, but yeah, not a lot there in terms of a surprise for Trick. So, but I also that's the thing. I know I just said that the men's roster isn't very crowded in NXT, but also I don't know how much left there is to do for Trick. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. He might come up, but also like I feel like the temptation there would be to have him and Mello, mix it up again, um, because Mello is consistently on TV, so it's not like they're doing nothing with him, but it doesn't seem like there's like a goal in mind for Mello. He's they kind of have him like kind of choking week after week and stuff, or having kind of wrestling in between wins and losses. So they are using him and investing in him, but curious where he'll go. I still believe they might send that they'll make Mello Money in the Bank winner. Now that would be interesting, and it would be a bit of a reset if maybe Trick debuted at Money in the Bank and helped Mello win the briefcase, and kind of became his initially became his heavy again. But that is really just kind of recycling an old angle. So I don't really know if they would really do that. I'm sure they can probably do something more creative. So we'll see. And no pun intended. He's just in a tricky place because I absolutely think he could go up, but I just don't know what they'd do with him. That honestly, Trick's in a bit of a dangerous place because he kind of reminds me. Um, you're right, Diglets. They did bring back Cora and Roxanne Perez. That's true. They did revisit that. So, yeah, I stand corrected there. I think it could work. I just now that Trick has been a main eventer in NXT, I wonder how patient the audience would be if he didn't show up as a competitive single star. Earlier we were talking about Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura and stuff. And I just wonder if people would be too quick to throw him into that group if they didn't have something ready for him right away. But they've been cooking way better than they were this time a year ago. So I don't. Yeah, Samantha, you're right. It just needs to be the right timing. It just needs to be the right timing. So we'll see where it goes from here. All right, Ricky Saints and Ava walking back and forth like it's a romantic comedy or something.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm not worried about you. I know exactly what you're doing. I'm worried about Javon. I thought I was done with him. Now that they whooped your ass and I don't think so. Alright, oh, another one! Yeah, man. It's easy for you to walk up in here talking a big game and you only been here since day one. Let me tell you something. If you feel some type of way, let's talk about it.
Relax.
Ava about to channel her inner Teddy Long. Tag team match, player. Ricky Saints and Javon Evans versus Wesley. Hey, Hardy's in the house.
Should we accept that challenge, Jeff? Of course we should accept that challenge. We're the TNA World Tag Team Champions, man, and it's 2025. We're still innovating. We're still influencing. We're still inspiring. We're still modifying the craft of pro wrestling. How's that for an axiom? Fraxium? Fraxium. Why don't you pull up a front row seat and watch us beat the No Quarter Catch Crew?
Bro, no disrespect. No disrespect to No Quarter Catch Crew, but we're already building toward Fraxium versus the Hardys. Guys, let's not, everybody just calm down. Everybody calm down. But we are planting the seeds for Stand and Deliver to be an NXT versus TNA event. I'm telling you. Or maybe even Roadblock. Good point. Good point, Diglets. Roadblock, correct me, chat. Roadblock is the MSG show, right? We very well could have Roadblock be NXT versus TNA. You can have Obafemi versus Moose. You can have the Hardys versus Fraxium. Masha Slamovich still hasn't. She could wrestle somebody too. We haven't done that yet, y'all. What did we say earlier about MSG being a special place where big things happen? We might be getting there. We might be eating big time NXT versus TNA in Madison Square Garden. That will feed some families. I'm excited for it. Wow. They are really, and you know what? And forward thinking. Samantha, I think you're absolutely right. I'm glad Ricky's here because even so, I'm really happy for talent that's willing to go to NXT first because you don't need to be in a hurry to get on the main roster and all the pressure and like super detailed production elements that go into all that. Like they need time. It's fine. They need time to get used to the new situation first. Diglets, I see that you're a man of fine taste, being a fan of Stephanie Vaquer. This might be one of the best women's 6-man teams I've ever seen between Jordan, Julia, and Stephanie. These three can tear it up. Well, hello there. Speaking of best ladies, my wife has entered the chat. Hello, hello. Glad you like the beard. I have a good barber. But yeah, between Stephanie, Julia, and Jordan, I gotta wonder how well, just how well they're going to show out tonight. And also, can we do a count real quick? What's the over under on Booker T losing his mind when Stephanie does that face plant move? How many times? Let's say more or less than 5. I'm just curious. What are your thoughts, chat? Are we taking the over or under on 5 for Booker T losing his mind on Stephanie's face plant move? All right, Justin's taking the over. Okay, let's go. All right. JR's taking the over. Okay, I know Booker's got problems. Well, he didn't have problems, but I think Charmel needs to sit next to him one of these nights because he's getting out of control. He's going to run his blood pressure up. So over. Yes, right. George, welcome to the chat, bro. Yes, NXT next week is going to be fantastic. I hope you'll join me again. Babe, Booker is the best. I think he just sometimes his thirst gets a little loud with some of these ladies. But I still love the five-time champion. Nevertheless, I hope you guys have been enjoying the chat tonight. I hope to be. I plan on being with you guys again next week. So as sort of the NXT of our community, I mean, we've got A and B and Just Alex as our sort of main roster channels here. I am proud to be your NXT channel of this community, so to speak, in being the new guy who's still developing. But anyway, I hope you guys are having fun and I hope you're enjoying the chat because I'd like to continue doing the live NXT watch-alongs with you guys since it's kind of a free night for our other channels. So I'll be glad to continue providing this space for us to get together and talk NXT. Hey, we love you, A and B. I love you, A and B. Man, I can't do that too much. I'm gonna have to get another Celsius here in a minute. Keep going. By the way, if I can show you guys another commercial break, if we can get more into Steven's lore of his gear and fun and all this stuff. So, in the spirit of 2K25, let me just scroll back here for a second. I don't know how many gamers we have in the chat tonight, or how many wrestling gamers we have in the chat. I don't know what your first wrestling game was. However, this was the first wrestling game I ever played. WrestleMania for the NES. Yeah, you can boo him. It's okay. We all do that. But this let's be honest, it was not actually a very great game, but it was all we had. Well, you also had Pro Wrestling for the NES, which is a much better game, but it wasn't licensed by WWF or WCW or anything like that. But anyway, it was a late '80s, about '88, right around the WrestleMania 4 time, and so you had the Macho Man, Andre the Giant, Honky Tonk Man, Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, and Bam Bam Bigelow. And if you look closely here at the graphics, look at those dazzling graphics here for the Nintendo Entertainment System circa 1988. Yeah, listen, it wasn't a great game, but it was my first wrestling game, and you always love your first game. Nevertheless, WWE 2K25 coming out, I believe, next month, and so I'm going to put this up and stall again for a second. So be patient. And I want to show you guys, some of you may have spotted it in the corner, but something I'm very, very excited about and want to tell you a fun story about a new belt in the Marked by Wrestling family. So while we're still on commercial break, we're coming right back now. But my favorite wrestling fandom when I first became a fan of WWE in the late 80s was the WWF mid-card. You had the Macho Man Randy Savage. You had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You had Jake the Snake Roberts. You had the Honky Tonk Man, who I didn't care for. And you also had, into the 90s, wrestlers like this man right here, Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect. And he, along with Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, and a few others, the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, was the holder of the Intercontinental Championship. This guy's, as far as title belts go, is my first love. I'll tell a story about this soon, maybe even another time. We'll see as to how I came upon this, but I'm very, very pleased and very stoked and excited that I actually get to possess a replica of this belt. You notice it's got the red WWF logo. That is the late 80s era. The Tito Santana, Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage, Honky Tonk Man era belt. You'll notice as it got into the 90s with Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, the logo went gold instead of red, and it stayed that way until the Attitude Era. But anyway, my favorite belt of all time. I would love to do a video sometimes where we can just talk belts and what your favorite belt is. If you have a favorite belt, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear it. but our 6-woman tag match has now commenced, and we are underway. Toxic Attraction wearing matching outfits, and your boy is always a fan of matching outfits for that team chemistry element. Backing Stephanie Vakira into that corner, and but I'm sure she won't stay there long as they're sending her out, and boom, foot to the chin, rolls and tags in Julia. Julia's about to wreck shop. I can feel it. Justin, appreciate you, man. George, we got some NXT stars in 2K25. That's a lot. And I can't even imagine, too, like, I don't think they've announced the DLC packs for 2K25 yet either. So I'm sure there's probably coming soon even more stars to choose from. So I'm excited for 2K25 and what all comes from that. I love doing they haven't announced it yet. Okay. I love the showcase modes, and the community creations are fantastic. And I also love the GM modes too. The GM modes are so much fun, just getting to book shows and getting to do the contracts and stuff. That's a lot of fun. Jordan Grace in the house, kind of got a Dallas Cowboy looking look to her. Oh gosh, somebody about to go smack. Oh, it's a revert. Oh my gosh. Golly, she put some torque on that German suplex. She whipped that German suplex so hard, Brock Lesnar woke up and apologized to somebody. Jeez. Man. You know what's so funny is that Jordan Grace is wrestling with such viciousness in here, and she's got the biggest smile on her face. She's like, this is so much fun to be here officially now and to get to wreck shop. Oh, man. Okay. I thought she was going to bridge out there for a second, but I guess she's not wanting to show off too much. Did I keep calling him Fatal Attraction? I'm messing. It's Fatal Influence, right? I'm remembering from back when they used to be Toxic Attraction, Gigi and JC Jane with Mandy Rose. Sorry, but when some of these women's groups start to just kind of act all the same, I can't really remember the names either. So there's only so many fishnets and two-piece outfits before they start to blend together on me. Okay. Fatal Influence all on the outside. Is Jordan about to go cruising through the ropes? Here we go. Oh, man. Jordan Grace is impressive. Would like to see her tag up with Ivy Nile. Jordan and Ivy would have a great time for sure. By the way, I was very surprised that they had Dakota Kai beat Ivy Nile last night for the contendership for the women's. Sorry, y'all, for the women's intercontinental title. I don't hate it. I love Dakota Kai, but I just would have assumed that Ivy would have gotten a shot at that, and I really. Oh, here we go. Here's the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The over wins. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. The overs won. And somebody send a glass of water to Booker T to cool him off. Oh no, they caught her in not really a 619, but man, teamwork. Teamwork's making the dream work for Fatal Influence. Talking trash. We're going to a commercial break. All right, we're picture in picture right now. Yeah, I want to see. I mean, I want to see Ivy Nile involved in the women's intercontinental picture. Like, honestly, I just want to see somebody from American Made have some gold. I mean, they're a really good faction. They're incredible talents, and I know a lot of us were very I don't want to say impatient, but a little restless with how they treated Chad Gable. And so now, the Creeds could be in the tag title picture. Ivy Nile, I thought she was going to be in the women's IC picture. But it seems like they're always like on the verge of it and just don't go there. So I don't want to complain, but like they're just they have a lot of potential as a group. So I just hope to see that happen. Um, we'll see if it remains to be seen if it happens or not. Also, though, I saw that one of the Creed brothers was selected by Daniel Cormier as a team coach for the Ultimate Fighter, which totally out of left field for me. But I wonder if that'll affect his availability and if that'll impact any tag plans they might have had, um, which is just such a bummer from a wrestling standpoint. I mean, I'm happy. Go get your money, Creed. Like, go out there and get your name out there and do what you got to do. But um, man, I just feel like I feel like we're approaching the threshold of wasted opportunity with American Made. And the crowd hasn't really soured on them yet either. So like, there's still time to do right by them. I hope they will. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Roxanne Perez, I can see her in the women's intercontinental picture after Chamber. I mean, I think that would be a great stepping stone. I think honestly, I think Roxanne could probably do more with that title than Lyra. Um, and I don't want anybody touching Chelsea Green right now. Chelsea Green is making that women's U.S. title something right now, and honestly, I think Roxy would be a great choice for a women's intercontinental championship to get eyes on that title, and make it something more desirable than what it is right now. Because right now it's quickly becoming an afterthought, and that's not Lyra's fault. It's the way that she's being booked. I mean, like she lost clean to Bailey, and then has she even defended it yet? Like I don't know. So she just keeps getting kind of like pushed around and punked out. And champions, I don't care how weak they are, can't look like that all the time, especially if they haven't actually won anything as champion yet. I know there are heel champions who operate that way, but that's a different situation. But yeah, so we're still on commercial. We are in picture right now, but we are back to the show now, and let's see, continuing to work over Stephanie Vicaire. Poor Stephanie, she needs to make a tag here soon, um, so they can get back to wreck and shop these ladies. But yeah, so George, Chelsea Green's going to lose the women's championship at some point because you have Meechin and Zelina and BFAB. I mean, she'll lose it eventually for sure, but I like the fact that you know she she's getting so much more out of her reign than Lyra Valkyria is. So it's like it's not even close. She's actually made her minutes on SmackDown be like worth watching. So like the title as a result means more than the women's IC title. And so, yeah, I mean, Chelsea will need to drop it at some point, but all respect to Chelsea for making the most of her TV time and really getting the crowd behind her in the sense that it'll get, in the sense that, she gets reactions. George thinks Fatal Influence is going to lose. Who do you guys have in this match? Do you think the super team of Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan win, or do you think Fatal Influence, the team that already has chemistry, wins together? Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming, what's up, dude? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the chat. We are in the main event of NXT. It is Fatal. It's a 6-woman tag. Fatal Influence versus Stephanie Vicaire, Julia, and Jordan Grace. I could see Fatal Influence stealing out a win here, just because these three women, who while they are all good ladies, good guys, they're still not a team. And at the end of the day, sometimes a team has better chemistry than 3 individually stronger people. We'll see what happens. I don't think Jordan would take the pin if they lose, but you've got 2 champions and Jordan, so that's a good point. I don't know who would lose out of the 3 if Fatal Influence stole it. So we'll have to see. I think the more logical solution would be for Fatal Influence to lose. Big Mama Pump. Holler if you hear me. She's going. She's wrecking shop. She's taking on all 3 of them into the corner. Oh, she's got her caught. Got her on the turnbuckle. Smack. Boot to the face. Muscle. Is she going muscle bust? Look out. Oh, and a clothesline. Is that going to be it? 1, 2. Oh, kick out. Man. Yeah. What do you guys think of NXT so far? Those of you guys who've been watching along, what are your thoughts? Honestly, I think it's been a really good show. I mean, planting so many seeds of a TNA feud. We now have an answer to who Ricky is. He's Ricky Saints. And missing the Vader bomb. Oh, dang. Jordan caught that knee right to the face, too, but still kicked out. You know, JC's underrated, too. She's always been tied to a faction, it seems, but she's good in her own right, you know. Blockbuster. Oh man, Jordan has taken some shots. Oh, double spear by Stephanie and Julia. Crowd is completely into this match. They have not lost. They have not lost the crowd at all tonight. I think there was a small dip in the Eddie Thorpe Jordan in the Chase match, Andre Chase, in the Eddie Thorpe Andre Chase match, but otherwise everything has been solid. Shot from Julia there. JC and Julia going at it in the corner. What she got? And belly to back suplex. Julia's all fired up. Where's she going? She on the apron. She going to face planted on the apron. Oh, Stephanie's climbing the ropes. She's climbing the turnbuckle. She about to wipe out. Oh, takes out two of them at once. That leaves Jordan and the third fatal influence. Sorry, I can't remember her name. Oh, spinning elbow. Spinning back fist. And that's got to finish. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Like you said, Jasmine Nix taking the pin. Jordan Grace, Big Mama Pump. Not taking any L's. Not in NXT. Not tonight. Great main event. Drop those ratings, everybody. What do you guys think? You know, surprising, we have not seen the faces of that Shield Retribution faction tonight. And we're ending with the ladies. Oh, that's a great shot. Putting Jordan in the middle, eyeing both of them. You know she wants gold. She wants that gold, sucker. I'm not going to finish the rest of that. George gives it a 9.5 out of 10. Oh, it's the parking lot. It's the NXT parking lot. There they are, leaving the parking lot. Oh, my gosh. Who is that? Who's gotten? Is that Robert Stone? Does that say no one is safe? No one is safe? No one is safe. Okay. Well, some guerrilla warfare there. We'll see what happens. So, not taking out, I mean, they took out high profile targets at Vengeance Day. But so now they're taking out, you know, adjacent authority figures. All right, guys. I see a 9.5 out of 10 from George. Justin gives it a 10 out of 10. Hell, you drop those ratings. Only caught half the show, but the last half, 6 out of 10 from Rickardy. What else you guys got? I got to say, I found it to be a very entertaining show tonight. Like I said, I loved the NXT's teases. They're definitely teasing something here with this group that has debuted. And I mean, like, all the divisions have something going on, and that's one of the biggest compliments I can give a wrestling company, is that there's interest at every level of the roster. So Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 tonight. I was a little disinterested in the Eddie Thorpe match, but Eddie's growing on me. I just need to give him more time. He's still kind of new to me. My lovely wife has given me a 10 out of 10. Thank you so much, dear. I'll make sure to pay you back for that with something nice. Women's division is the best in wrestling. Like there's no and other there are other really good women's divisions too, but nothing is touching NXT's women's division right now. So I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. A and B NXT sounded very entertaining. Can't wait to watch it later. Got to walk those channel mascots. Yes, sir, and or ma'am. I'm not sure if it's A and B or both of y'all in the chat. Yeah. If any of y'all, hey, I'll try to my best to be more descriptive next week for any of you who join me who can't actually watch it live. But this is very much worth checking out if you're on the West Coast and don't have that streaming available and you have to wait an hour for it to come on. It's definitely worth it. An episode worth your time. So yeah, Moose. We got Moose versus Pillman next week. We've got Ricky Saints and Javon Evans taking on Ethan Page and Wes Lee next week. So, like, they're setting up next week. They're also setting up stuff down the line. Obafemi and Moose are on a collision course somewhere. So this is going to be they are cooking. They're cooking at NXT. They're building stuff up. They're giving us stuff for next week. It's all good stuff. So, anyways, knowing all that's there, yeah, NXT is a great place to be right now. So, and we're just headed towards MSG, headed towards Stand and Deliver. So, the biggest shows of the year, and TNA is just hanging around, dude. We'll see when this stuff happens. So it's going to be a great time. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Thank you, George, for the rating. I appreciate it. Rickardy, yes, I will be here again next week. I was a little up in the air as to whether or not I could make this work, to be honest, but everything seems to be running just fine. So I'll be here again next week running the same show, and we'll watch along again together. So join me on Tuesday nights for NXT, and let's keep cooking with Booker and all those guys. So if you want to donate to the channel while we're still trying to improve things around here, trying to grow our family here, you can do so. I've got Cash App and Venmo donation tools in the description. And then love you guys. Thank you so much just for being here. Wrestling is so much more fun when we're together and when we can sit down for a couple hours and just believe together and have fun with what we're seeing. So thanks for being such a good family to chat with. It's always a blast watching wrestling with you guys. And so I will see you guys next week. If my schedule allows me, I'll see you guys in the chat for SmackDown with A and B, and also for Raw. But if I don't, if life takes me away at some point or another, I will be here next Tuesday for NXT. So regardless, love you guys. Love this show tonight. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And I will see you guys next week if I don't see you sooner. And yeah, man, be good to each other. And we will see each other next time around. Peace.